And we're quite proud of this designation. In a nutshell, the schools, and I'll just continue on so we'll catch on eventually here. The Schools of Watch initiative is the ultimate goal is to promote best practices at middle level. And we are proud to be a middle school at Canon-McMillan. And what comes with applying best practice at middle level, understanding that the middle level child, when you get to middle school, is quite different than elementary, and not quite there at high school. So how do we develop and get them ready to the next level, which is high school? So we apply those best practices, and that's what the Schools to Watch designation process is all about. Are you a middle school truly applying those middle school strategies in your school? So, that was, one more, please. Okay. First and foremost, obviously, this is representation of what goes on in the school, not only the teachers, staff, but what the district, how the district values middle level education, board, or central administration, obviously our students, our parents that support that, our focus. So it's representation of all those stakeholders. In order to get to this process or go through the evaluation process, which Mr. Schrager will talk about in a moment here, you have to apply for it, and we'll pass this around. I think the board's seen this before, but we'll pass this around. This is the application. So you submit your application, and going back to 2007 or 8, I want to say, we applied for this designation. We were turned down. They made recommendations. Why don't you try this, this, and that? And we knew we were approaching a middle school concept, a true middle school concept, but we weren't there yet. So we had applied, made some changes, did some different things in the building, and progressed towards our ultimate goal of providing ultimate middle level education. And we reapplied in 2010, and we were designated for the first time in 2011. But that process, the application is extensive. Data collection of information, what you're doing over the years, and submitting it to the state evaluation team. And the core team that put that application together has to put a lot of work into that, has to stay after school, and just put a lot of work. So I want to recognize these special teachers that put a lot of time into it. So if I say your name, if you can see me, I appreciate it. First is Amy Barbarino, our librarian. Mindy Borelli, Mindy's not here tonight. CJ Carney, who teaches math and special education. Melissa Dalbon, language arts. Lori Hederman, guidance. Brian Herrick, technology education. Stephanie Kubik, science. Angela Morosco, mathematics and TOPS. We have Pam Anides, gifted in special education. Lauren Paddock, Shayna Porter, Ken Schrag, Bob Stone, social studies. Bob's here. Paul Wolf, science. Carry a little one there. And Becky Wolf, language arts. So a big hand to these. They show true teacher leadership. Many of the meetings they held, Brian organized the meetings after school, and they held those meetings without Ken and I even being there. So they did a lot of the information gathering to help us finalize the application. So we appreciate what they do, and we appreciate that they value what this Schools of Watch process is all about. So Matt, can you get the next slide? A little snapshot here. Out of the 500 school districts in Pennsylvania, there are, as of 2017, 38 Schools of Watch schools in Pennsylvania. So it gives you some perspective. We're one of only 38. Again, this is our second redesignation. We originally were designated in 2011, again in 2014, and now our new redesignation 2 in 2017. Even more special, we're one of only 10 schools in Pennsylvania who has been redesignated more than once. So we're one of 10 schools. Okay, and we're roughly around one of 350 in the country that holds a Schools of Watch designation. So again, very proud of what this means, and we value this process as we go through.
Thanks, Matt. When we talk about best practices within middle school, the National Forum to Accelerate Middle Grades Reform, who Greg mentioned before, That's the umbrella over which these schools to watch is under. 4 cornerstones: academic excellence, developmental responsiveness, social equity, and organizational structures and processes. So those are a lot of big words. There's a little description under each of them. But as the application makes its rounds, you'll see that the written part of the application, not the data part, that's how the application was centered around, how we address each of those areas at the middle school. And the team divided up those areas. They took different areas of expertise and their knowledge, and that's the way it was written. Within those 4 categories that are up there, I'm going to pass around. I'll send one each way to get it around a little quicker. What's coming around now is the actual rubric. These 4 categories are divided into 37 subcategories. And those 37 subcategories are what the team looks for when they're walking around their building, when they're reading the application, and that's actually what we are rated or evaluated on. So we actually brought the one that we just got back from them from our November visit that many of you took part in, and you can actually see the scores they gave us and some of the comments. But you'll see what they look for when they're looking at developmental responsiveness and so on. Thank you. So several of you were actually helped out and were kind enough to take time out of your busy schedules back in early November when the team came. I'm just going to talk for a minute about what the entire process looks like. As Dr. Tarano said, the application process, our teachers, I want to say it was around a year ago right now, they started meeting, brainstorming, getting ideas on paper, pulling out stuff from the last visit, and the application writing began. So that was pretty much winter, spring, into the summer. Our application went to the state team in the second half of August. Those applications were read in August and September. We were told of our site visit, which occurred in November. Those of you that were at the middle school that day, bright and early, around 6:30, between 9 and 12 members showed up. They have a variety of backgrounds, current educators, teachers, some of our teachers, in fact, Mr. Herod is one of them. Dr. T and I are both on a state team. We do the same thing. We go and visit other schools periodically. They spend 11, 12 hours at our school.
We don't visit our school.
No, okay. We visit other ones out there, and we're out of that group for our visit.
Thanks for the clarity.
Yeah.
During that day, they did everything from observe our teachers, quick walkthroughs to sit down for a better part of a period, interview teachers, interview teams of teachers, representatives from every department. They want to interview our secretaries, our custodians, our school resource officer, a panel of parents. We set up panels of students for them to interview. They informally interview students. They got into every lunch period. They sit down next to kids that are eating lunch and say, tell us about your teachers, tell us about your homework. The whole point of the visit being, we really can't hide anything. We can't put stuff in the application that we're not actually doing because they're going to come in those 10 to 12 hours, tease that information out one way or another. Interview with central administration, superintendent, assistant superintendent, curriculum director, as well as I know many of you board members were there. The very thorough process. You got to see what they asked you. They don't disclose much to us when they left, so we don't really know what they talk about with our kids, with our board members, with our parents. I do have to add, when they debriefed it with us a little bit that evening, they were very impressed with the board, so we didn't get to pass that along because we all were home, but very impressed with the level of support that they could see just in speaking with each of you. So again, a very thorough process. That was November, and then right after the New Year's when they make the announcements who's been designated or redesignated. So that just lets you know kind of what goes on through the 12-month process of being the school of ours.
I do have to tell you this. I wasn't part of the first time. I was here, but I wasn't part of it. And I had the privilege to be interviewed for this time. And I thank you for that. And it was an awesome honor to do that for you because I think the world of that school and what you do there. So thank you for letting me be there.
We appreciate you being there for us, and that goes both ways, obviously. It's Canon-McMillan's a special place. Some individuals mentioned that. It's a lot of people come here and they stay, so you stick and stay. Once you experience Canon-McMillan, you don't want to leave Canon-McMillan, either working or a parent or a student. It's just a special place here, and I know I'm truly honored and blessed every day I get to come to work here. Ken feels the same way, and my teachers here, that's why they're here. We appreciate the support and what goes on in this district and what everyone understands their role, what we need to do for the kids in this district. So very special, but thank you.
Thank you.
Let me add something too, Greg. Mr. Caparizzo, Mr. Scarmese, and myself met with the committee at that meeting,
Absolutely.
and they did nothing but rave about the school district, about you guys. You did a heck of a job. We left there and walked out of there, boy, with our chests pumped out. So thank you for all the work and dedication that you do.
Thank you. So what's next for CMS? Well, we're going to start working towards our 2020 redesignation. And in order to receive that third redesignation, we have to status, which would actually be the fourth designation. We have to show growth, just like we did this time. We have to show we're setting goals and we're achieving those goals, and they don't want you to be stagnant. They want to show, okay, you're here, how can you progress and be better? So we're going to work on that the next 3 years, so we get another visit and hopefully another designation. We will, it's one of the most special parts about this is we open up our school for school visits. School districts that want to embrace that middle school concept, we open our doors and we share our best practice with those school districts. So we will be doing that over the next 3 years as well. And also, Ken, myself, Brian Harry, and Lauren Paddock will also be taking part in some of the state team participation. We received our training a few years back, so we'll probably most likely take part in one visit a school year to then go in other schools to designate those schools if possible, or share how they can improve. And obviously, when you go to those visits, you're taking something back to your own school. You're stealing ideas and applying to your school. So it's a mutual benefit when you go and do this thing. So that's our next steps in that process. Any questions about schools to watch or anything I can answer this time?
Well, another next step. You have a celebration coming up. Maybe you
Yes. Thank you. And that's,
Maybe you were going to go there.
Yes, May 5th will be our celebration. That's a requirement of this process. So it's set for May 5th. Everyone's invited. You'll get an invitation. 1 p.m. in our auditorium. We'll have the entire student body there, representatives from local governments and whatnot. Obviously, and all our board. Hopefully, we can make it. But we'll be there to celebrate this designation status in front of the student body.
Maybe the next time we'll be in a new building.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, you know, in addition to that presentation, I'm very compelled to share that we have amazing administrative leadership at our middle school. And when I saw that one slide with all the names of the core committee, all of your faces, all of you here, and for those who couldn't be here, it's amazing what you do for our kids, the talent and the time and just what you deliver. It's just absolutely amazing. Thank you. And this is just part of, I guess, your pat on the back, right? It kind of confirms or solidifies all the hard work and the time you put into it. So really,
Did
thanks so much.
everybody?
Special group here.
Yeah, when you get,
Special.
I get on my Facebook page from the Learning Station. I don't know if the rest of you get any emails or stuff about the Learning Station. It's all educational. And they put on there things about what a teacher is and what a teacher does and how much time you put in. And if you are part of an education family, which Zephy and I both are, our fathers were both teachers. We know what you do when you go home. We know what you do in the morning before you go to school. We know that you're cleaning your house at midnight. So I admire you for taking the time to make Canon-McMillan this great honor. So thank you all for doing your jobs.
And if I may say, it's quite the honor, and I'm very proud. But very selfishly speaking, I'm just not surprised. I'm just not surprised. It's. I think the first one came when I first sat on the board because that's when I attended that one,
Yeah.
and I've been fortunate enough to have both my kids go through. I don't have one negative thing to say.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, Mike.
Yeah.